That's greatness, all right. The 29th of September 2012, the day the Sydney Swans won their 5th premiership. I'm alongside Craig Bolton, a Sydney Swans premiership player in his own right. Craig, welcome. That must bring back some wonderful Sydney Swans memories.
Yeah, great scenes, weren't they? They'll be hoping again, obviously, to replicate this year, and every team's going to want to achieve that. But you look at those moments and they really give you some goosebumps.
And a special moment earlier today at the SCG, just a few moments ago, with the entire squad out there. Susie Collis, the wife of Chairman Richie Collis, unfurling the flag.
Yeah, it's a wonderful tradition. I think particularly for the fans from an interstate club, they get to connect and feel a part of that premiership. For the players, they'll be looking forward to the game and also trying to reflect a little bit on that season as well.
Well, of course, there's a game to play now, isn't there? They've had the glory of last year and they've celebrated it, but today it is all about round 2 against the unbeaten, yes, unbeaten Gold Coast Suns, led out by Gary Ablett. Just a wonderful player and so good last week. Dominant. He really did have the ball on a string, 34 possessions and 4 goals. There he is, the number 9 in the middle, Craig. He looms so large.
Yeah, he was terrific, wasn't he? Outstanding. There was probably some speculation in the early days when he made the move to the Gold Coast. Would he have the same impact? Would he still command the same presence around the field? But those questions have well and truly been answered. He was unstoppable, and for the Swans to get up today, they're going to obviously have to target him pretty significantly.
2 changes. Bird and Everett come in. Armstrong and Rampy miss out. Gary Ablett, he's polled votes, Brownlow votes in 6 of the last 7 games he's played against the Sydney Swans. We'll be back to welcome the reigning premiers onto the SCG right after this. We spoke earlier about unfurling the flag and all of the players being out there before. I mean, can it have an unsettling effect, I wonder?
Oh, it's certainly a change to routine. You don't unfurl a flag every week that you come out. But
Mumford, advantage.
We've got advantage here, Baz. We'll get back to that.
So here's McVeigh, outside 50, keeps it low. He knows the conditions. He bounces it in and gets the opening goal for the Swans.
Would have been 9. But really pressing right up and putting the heat on the Swans early, the Suns.
Warnock to Murphy to Matera. 95 games in 8 years at the Hawks. Here's Hutchins, inside 50, steps inside, likes his chances, runs to 40 and kicks a wonderful goal for the Gold Coast Suns. They've got their noses in front. Mumford up in front. Dixon did brilliantly as he kicked the second for the Suns. Oh, what about that Charlie boy?
It's 5 minutes.
Nick Malcheski and Marty Matner had boys during the off-season. Harrison and Oscar, part of the family that is the Sydney Swans, ever expanding. Now the ball's with McVeigh after the kick from Murphy. The kick wasn't spot on. Jeddah a little over his head. Goods is there. It's a 2-on-1. Kieran Jackett's 3-on-1. Jeddah, ball on the right boot. He sends it goalward. But how's that for accuracy? Lewis.
Great balance in their key position players, the Suns.
Terrific mark by Parker, and he slides one up towards Mike Pike now. One of the Rolls-Royce cruisers past the dual Brownlow medalist, Adam Goods, and onto the chest of Andreas Everett.
And that's what you expect from the Swans, the fast break or the slingshot football, whatever you want to call it. When they stack their numbers back in their forward 50, in their defensive 50 rather, and stream forward, they get an open forward 50 and an easy uncontested mark, as we just saw then. We haven't seen that today, so that'll be pleasing signs for the Swans.
So Everett now to put Sydney back in front, and he's done just that. Up by a goal. Long kick from Day. Hall was the target, but Jeddah chopped it off, and he's going to send it back from precisely where it came. Mike Pike up in front. Again, greasy conditions, tough to mark. Kennedy, McVeigh, going in hard. O'Meara, well done, young man. Wilkinson there, pushed out of the way by Mumford. Gives the footy to McVeigh. He snaps it around the body and kicks a classy goal. Wonderful finish by the Swans. 3-4, 2-3. Boundary throwing.
Well, clearly the momentum of the game's changed, but also the nature. It seems to really be opening up now. The range obviously stopped for about 15 minutes, and it's a lot cleaner and more fluid to play.
Here's McVeigh again and taken high. This will be possession number 7 and 2 shots on goal inside a minute.
And he wasn't stationary coming in. It's got to be a free.
Don't think there can be much argument with that.
No, he's just hunting the ball. He's just getting into the right spots, and
Thank you.
no, that's what the rule's for, Baz, and he'll put his head over the ball all day long.
So kicked the last goal, McVeigh. Kicked 1 last week against GWS. He's already got 2 this afternoon. kicking for his third. And a 19-point lead for the Sydney Swans. The reigning premiers starting to get it going now. Clearing kick out towards defensive 50. Shaw's done that a couple of times. And it was always going to be difficult. Just a little too willing to lose his footing. And the umpire not so lenient. Free kick, Sydney. McGlynn marks.
It's a precision kick. You're right there with Shorts. Twice just gone to ground. I mean, the basics are the things you really got to get right when you're developing your craft, and particularly in the back line. So he'll review that on Monday, and he taught that's not the way to go about it.
30-24 last season. Very unlucky, obviously, with injury late in the season to miss the grand final. He'd like one here. That's a good-looking kick off the boot. Well done, Benny McGlynn.
Thanks, Basil. And I knew the Channel 7 team were across their statistics, but I did not know to this degree, reeling off stats about players getting engaged in New York and wedded in the off-season.
And congratulations to Baz, expecting his second child, Baz.
Thank you very much. So nobody's missed out on the commentary team. Has Hamish got any news? No wonder he's away with the horses today.
Just held his arm.
A free kick.
Held his arm.
Well, did he censor himself then?
He did.
That was very well done. Not the tackle, but the censoring. And Charlie Dixon, who's been really outstanding, 11 disposals. This will be number 12. He's kicked a goal. Chance for goal number 2 to get it back to within 20 points. This for a 19-point margin. Dixon's kick is on the way, and that's better for the Gold Coast. So half-time, we're about ready to get things underway. O'Keefe has been terrific. I mentioned during that first half, in both of Sydney's previous outings against the Gold Coast Suns, he has polled the top votes. 2 lots of 3. And free kick now for Riscatelli on the end of that Ablett kick to get things moving. So a goal early would be terrific for the Suns. A handball over the top for Hall. A bit flat-footed there. Hutchins, he comes back inside. Prestia weaved his way through well, but he's just kicked that one offline and a little bit too much on it, out of bounds on the full.
Probably would have liked to see Riscatelli go back and have a shot there. He had the last shot of the first half and almost made the distance from further out. So in that situation, the senior leader in the team needs to go back and take that responsibility on his shoulders.
Hanbury then in the back pocket. Drives the ball towards the defensive 50. Well done, O'Meara. So many skills on show today. The kick not spot on, but Hall, that was a great overhead mark in the conditions. Hall with the outside of the boot. That is a terrific effort. A goal. Carmichael Hunt with the clearance. The ball right up in the air, and Hanbury again just camped under it. Will send it back towards full forward. It's a longish kick, and that was too easy. Kennedy just bobbed up, marks, almost uncontested, 25 out directly in front.
It's demoralising when that happens. You fight so hard in and around the contest. Dan Hanbury just driving it to the dangerous part of the ground. Each Gold Coast Suns player had their direct opponent covered, but you've just got to be a bit more preemptive than that and go for the football.
15 seconds gone, Josh.
Kicked a goal last week. And this is his 84th consecutive match. He started that sequence at Hawthorn, and he's really driven it home here with the Sydney Swans. A goal. Sydney by 17 points. What happened there? That bounced off the back of Good's boot and out of bounds on the full, was it? Well, interesting. Prestia then sends the Suns forward. That's a terrific mark by Day. Clean hands, wet Day, great grab.
Another one from the AFL Academy, and just as a young player, takes his time now into his 3rd season, and that's enough to show that he's got a big future up there. Look, coming from pretty much 3 deep against a quality defender, taking the ball at the highest point, there's not much as a defender you can do about that one.
He kicked a goal last week. 23 games, 13 goals for his career. Just the 4 disposals today, but that was a terrific mark. He sends it goalward now. Wonderful kick off the boot. Terrific finish. The margin back to 11 points. O'Keefe's had a fair bit of it himself. 16 disposals for him. At the back, Smith Kept his feet when the others around him were slipping over. Reed slipped as he kicked. That's not the required distance. Everett's got it though. Intelligent kick for Bolton. Matera hanging on. Umpire signals.
You weren't looking at the ball.
Sydney's
He was
way.
looking at the ball, you were looking at him.
He's holding him.
Nah.
Terrific kick, isn't it?
He's facing
That's
the
the
ball.
one you
You're
want
looking
your
at him and holding.
teammates to
Thank
do, to identify that you're one out against an opponent who you're clearly physically larger than. When you've got Jude Bolton against Matera, kick it to his advantage, and Jude just was very clever there and played for the free kick, and obviously it was there.
So Bolton, 23 goals last season in a premiership year, a couple last week against GWS, and he's got another one here. Well, that's his 5th, make it 6 disposals for Dan Hanbury. He's found Parker. Suddenly they're at midfield. Kick not so good. Lucky though, got to Mumford. Bolton again. Long down towards full forward. The strength of Mike Pike in front. The Canadian marks.
He's improved. I know his premiership play probably played arguably his best game in the grand final, but you watch the replay here in the body work. He didn't go straight for the ball. He knew exactly where Warnock was, took a couple of steps to give himself a bit of room, then launched and took it the highest position.
I wonder if he's thinking here, Craig, do this for Jorge or do it for George?
I've got no doubt Basil here is having those thoughts.
All right. He had a little boy only 2 weeks ago. Some call him Jorge, some call him George. Nice result. It's a goal, Mike Pike. Sydney now out to a 22-point lead.
He is a great story. Had his critics early days, and hear him talk when he first started and first came to the Swans that Paul Roos was the coach at the time and told him he's going to have to work for his spot on the list, and he's just done that. He presents himself in fantastic condition every week. Now a father, life's pretty good for Mike Pike. Tell us a bit about Mike, Craig.
Well, he's that classic project player that I think's far exceeded expectations on the field. But he's a guy who's embraced the Australian culture off the field. He loves being a part of the team, and signed a new contract last year, which is great reward for effort, not only in the footballing sense, but actually having to uproot yourself and his wife and come over here. So it's great to see, a real success story.
Here they come forward again. O'Keefe, 6 straight from set shots to Sydney Swans. This one on the run, a behind only. It cleared the line. Sydney's lead now 23 points. Their biggest lead of the game, 25 points, and that was late in the second term. It's a promising start to this third quarter by the Gold Coast Suns, but again, Sydney just steadying. Dangerous kick out for Swallow. It didn't get there. Well done by Jack, the co-captain. Throws it on the boot and celebrates a captain's goal.
Really starting to get rolling now, the Sydney Swans. And you got the sense in the second half of that second quarter that the Swans were starting to get their mojo going. Jared McVeigh was the player. Kieran Jack's been up and about. Ryan O'Keefe rock solid. So much better signs here from the Suns. A real test now for the Suns to continue to burrow in. Take a leaf out of Jago O'Meara's book. David Swallows had the 16 disposals as well. So real challenge here for Gold Coast. Another project player of sorts when you think that Kieran Jack, son of a rugby league legend Gary Jack, and now captain of the Swans. Fantastic for footy in Sydney.
Kieran Jack, one of 8 goal kickers for the Sydney Swans. 29 points their lead now, the biggest of the afternoon. Hutchins goes long, inside 50. Hall, the target. That was always going to be a tough one to mark. He's been a terrific player and rewarded, obviously, Craig, with the co-captaincy. And that theme or idea of co-captaincy, it remains very much alive here in Sydney.
Absolutely. I think John Longmire inherited that mantle or that philosophy that with co-captaincy, and you know, they're big advocates of it for a number of reasons, but certainly the on-field, spreading the on-field ability to lead.
Bennell, long kick out of the pack. Very long kick. Now we've got a whistle. Might be the Gold Coast way. Charlie Dixon in the square. He's going to go back and kick his third.
That's 7-zip the free kick count for Charlie Dixon. He's on good terms with it. That's Jordan Bannister, ex-teammate of Andrew Welsh's at Essendon, and obviously Carlton as well. He's been imposing, been really impressive, Charlie.
So Charlie Dixon for 3. He's got it, and it's back to a 23-point margin. Riscatelli, long one. Off hands from Richards. Down to Roberts Thompson, who kicked into the pack right in front of him. It comes back his way. Here's Dixon again. Now to Hall. We've seen him as a lively finisher. Well done, Aaron Hall. They come again, the Gold Coast. Now he's very good close to the boundary line. He might look to pass off, or he might look to be looking to pass off, if you know what I mean.
Go back and kick the goal.
Well, he's capable from here. He really is a good finish. He carries the right name to be a sharpshooter. Matera, it goes across the face, and Shaw drifts in and marks.
It's a great mark.
Well, he read that well, didn't he? Just drifting across and right place, right time, Matt Shaw.
Well, the conditions certainly have dried up, so the ball wouldn't be heavy or slippery. Not a difficult shot. The angle, not too bad, not a long distance out. This would be a great fillip for the Gold Coast Suns.
Well, this, for the last 3 goals of the game for the Gold Coast Suns, to get it back to 2 goals. Shaw's kick is on its way, and that's exactly what he's done. We've got a ball game here at the SCG.
Well, Martin Matten has actually started to inject himself in the game. He was reasonably quiet. He's had a touch or two recently, but he's been a player that's had a really limited pre-season. Last week he didn't see a lot of game time, and so he'd probably be the likely suspect, I would have thought, to get Craig Bird in and playing.
Free kick to Sydney. It's being sent long again, and that's unfortunate. We've seen that 3 or 4 times in this term. Parker has taken the mark, and Andrew Welsh, we've got movement down there.
Yeah, Jared Brennan, guys, is warming up. He's taken the vest off. It's going to be the battle of the subs here. I think Bird's your tough, gritty inside midfielder, and now Brennan. Hopefully he can add some spark for the Gold Coast.
So Parker, no mucking around. He gets on the runway quickly, sends it long and straight and strong back to a 22-point lead. Mike Pike, that was a strong mark. Long one down towards full forward. Fisting away there was Thompson. Kennedy, McVeigh, he got through the tackle of Wilkinson. Centering kick, outstanding to Ryan O'Keefe. How good is that?
Just a couple of easy uncontested marks inside their forward 50 for the Swans. It's 9-4 in favour of the Swans marks inside 50. They fight so hard, the Suns, but shouldn't really be allowed to bob up like he did here, Ryan O'Keefe.
He's had a big day, Ryan O'Keefe. Possession number 23. He's got a goal now. And a 28-point lead for Sydney. Against Day. Handball to Malcheski.
Holding Luke Parker.
On the runway. For a 34-point lead. Parker nails it for the afternoon. And incidentally, disposals in this final term, just to give you an indication of how dominant Sydney have been, 35-8. Riscatelli, though, grabs the football, and Zach Smith is away. Look at the big mummy chasing him. Cannot chase him. Zach Smith keeps going. This deserves a goal, and it gets a goal. Well done, big man.
Absolutely. Oh, obviously a great win last week, but today they haven't had their colours low. There's still a chance.
Goods gives McGlynn a chance. That's an intelligent centering kick.
To take that mark.
Well, he kicked just 8 goals, 8 last season. He kicked 2 last week, and this for his second here. So already he's got 4 goals for 2013. Well done, Mike Pike. Here's kick to the middle of the ground, and the mark taken by Adam Goods. Quickly onto Parker, and now it's the run of Everett. It sits, he takes it, he kicks the goal. Great finish, Sydney. Great team goal. They're running away with it now, the reigning premiers. Afternoon from the veteran, Roberts Thompson. Day, good tackle. Charlie Dixon, good reach. Wonderful athleticism from the big man. We've seen it on display today. Good kick forward by Ablett. Might this be a goal? Matera seemed to wait for it. It sat. He kicks off the ground, and they get it back to a 33-point margin. Swans by 34 points. It's been a gutsy effort by the Suns. O'Keefe got his kick away, and a little bit of icing on the cake for Ryan O'Keefe. There's his second. I'll slow it down a little bit, the Swans. Hanbury goes long down towards full forward. McVeigh, the slips catch. The wicket keeper across to second slip for him. So McVeigh kicking for his 4th goal of the afternoon. His career best is 6 back in 2008. He's got his 4th.
Getters, only 3 of them are genuine midfielders.
Sydney 17-11, Gold Coast 10-7.
Gold Coast.
And this for his first of the afternoon. May kicks from virtually dead in front, and he gets the margin back to 40 points. They were the premiers 6 months ago. Hasn't been overly convincing to start 2013, but they make it 2 in a row. A win over GWS in round 1, and they back it up with victory over Gold Coast in round 2. Sydney by 41 points.